Well, there it is, our strategic target here today in regiments. Hello again there, friends and fans. Raptor here, and welcome back to this Cold War simulator that is just absolutely astonishing. And I really hope that a lot of people are paying attention to this one because, man, I'm really loving the operations, and I hope the same for Warno and for Broken Arrow when that comes out sometime soon, hopefully this year. Anyway, as you remember from our last two episodes, our forces broke through our last two episodes about breaking through a defensive line that the Germans, the West Germans, set up as they were trying to defend this airfield against a Soviet attack. Also, the East Germans are here too, so we'll be pushing our way to some of these targets and then eventually bringing the airfield within grasp by capturing the area outside of it, including a large city here and a power plant, and also some of the other areas around the airfield. So thanks again for smacking like. Thank you very much for subscribing. We have some divisional artillery with us. We're going to push forward towards the Valley East and then the cities here and also the warehouses just outside of the airfield before we start to attack it. And once that is more secure, then we will branch out to these areas here on the left with supply on the left and then eventually the right side too. All right, well, let's get cracking. Then we've got some veteran tanks and helicopters and some other things at our disposal after several battles. And we've also purchased and upgraded some equipment, moved some of our points around. So let's go ahead and get started with our big attack. We're going to use primarily tanks here and anti-tank to try to break through enemy lines. So a new division is joining us. A new battle group is joining us for our attack on this target. So we're going to go ahead and bring all those units in, as well as our BMPs, which hopefully we have enough ATGMs for them in order to push through the region. And we'll see how we do. And then, with the more points that we get, we'll be able to replenish our troops and try to bring the fight to the enemy. We'll have BMP-3s joining us at some point, or at least that's the plan at the moment. So we'll see how we do. Supply is a little low at 223, so we're going to try to keep supply for just the helicopters only for now until we capture some of those other strategic targets, such as Charlie. That'll give us a little bit of supply, but really the main supply is on the outskirts with about 200 plus, actually about 300 on the right side, 200 on the left, plus more within the facility itself, within the airfield. All right, well, let's take a look at it. Once we capture it, we're going to have to defend it, so the points in the back, this large ridge here, is going to be incredibly important for our forces to hold, cutting off reinforcements from all these sectors. So we'll have to make that our main target. Eventually, we'll fight at nighttime, and the nighttime mechanics in this game are astonishing. I cannot get enough of it. I'm happy to be back for more. Oh, man. All right, let's go ahead and begin our attack here. We've got helicopters and tanks pushing forward. Look at all these units, man. BMP-2s, BMP-1s, T-64s, and our wonderful Mi-24s pushing forward. Let's go ahead and not push forward too far. We'll go ahead and give ourselves a little bit of a peek-see over on this side here, and we'll bring our troops over to the right side. It's a military term, peek-see. Yeah, we're going to take a little peekarooski over there. We also have our TBMs, our tactical ballistic missiles, ready to go at any sort of hard targets, and we have multiple artillery at our disposal that will generate more and more of that over time. We had to really fight the West Germans back with multiple counterattacks with Leo 2s. Those are just amazing tanks, so they had the best equipment at their disposal to fight our massive attack. Now, I'm assuming that the Germans are not foolish. They're going to be trying to launch a counterattack somewhere around this area, and we'll see if this large area will bring a large-scale tank attack or counterattack. So we're going to go ahead and bring our tanks forward first, and we'll keep our BMPs in the forest then to try to launch counterattacks. And we'll bring our BMPs to the left flank too, and we'll have our helicopters on lookout. Keep some of these units together. We're capturing Charlie. That'll bring in supply for us. Go ahead and make sure we monitor the right flank. We'll secure the right flank, and then we'll secure our left flank. A town in the middle of this field over here. Possible area for the enemy to counterattack from. A large open corridor there for tanks.
Zone captured.
All right, one zone has been captured. Excellent. Tanks are lining up for a big fight. Let's go ahead and bring our forces to the left flank as well. We'll capture the high ground here and fire down on anything down there from the woods. The wooded areas will provide line of sight for the tanks that are now arriving. Wow, look at that fire off in the distance too, man. World in Conflict really deserved a sequel, man, and I'm so happy that so many games are coming out that feel similar to that. Yes, also to the War Game series as well. War Game, Men of War, Company of Heroes, Call to Arms, all fantastic games, including Red Dragon itself. Oh man, just I feel so many good things when I play these games. I really, truly do love
captured.
it. That's why I'm back for more again. All right, zone captured on the left flank. We'll go ahead and advance up here to the woods, and we shall begin our attack. Going to defend on the right flank. Oh, we got contact. Tanks are firing at what looks to be maybe M113s. No, Martyr 1s. And that's bad news. It looks like they're shooting up. But they're not shooting up at the helicopter, so that's good. Well, let's bring our assault engineers around. Of course, the damn German artillery again. We're bringing in primarily ground forces. Oh, looks like we got some trouble here. Oh, no. It's Leopard 2s again. Leopard 2A1's there. Let's go ahead and move on the city. We got to capture these objectives. It is very important to be cautious, but we also need to move forward at a pace in order to capture these objectives for future attacks. Looks like a flank from Leo 1A4s. BMP 1's getting hit in the side here. We'll go ahead and pull back a little bit there. Get a little bit closer. Tanks are engaging the Leo 2A1s there. BMP 1's destroyed inside the forest. Trying to pin down those tanks. Alright, pulling back. Alright, we got to advance with our tanks to secure our right flank. We'll see if we can advance quickly to the warehouses, then turn onto those tanks that are attacking us from the rear. Keep advancing. We don't want to attack move. We want to get into these positions first before we start attacking. All right, Leo 1A4s are exposed. Oh, and losing a turret there. Big explosions. Tanks are now getting the hell out of there. They made a mistake coming out of those woods like that. Enemy defensive position. That's got to go. That's too hazardous. All right, we need to capture these objectives to lure the Germans to attack us. All right, I'm hoping the Mi-24s hit some targets here. Beautiful. Germans backing off. Good. All right, tanks did a good job here. All right, let's turn down those Panzer Grenadiers now. Missile incoming. Finally getting to see it. Beautiful. Excellent missile hit. Well, I'm going to try to advance on the eastern valley. Meanwhile, enemy artillery being a pain in the ass again. All right, Leo 1s are inside the airfield. We're going to try to push around that. We'll try to get the T-64s a straight line of sight to that target.
Zone captured. We
got mortars here. Counterattack those before they become a problem. Ooh, unfortunately, it looks like enemy tanks flanking behind us. All right, we're going to get those tanks out of there. Leo 2A4 is coming up from behind. Hitting our tanks hard. All right, Leopard 2A4s. All right, enemy artillery being hit by counter-artillery firing. Good job. Mi-24P is back up again. Absolutely invaluable. Alright, we gotta hold what we've got so far and lure the Germans out to attack us. We have a cooldown on some of the reinforcements that we may have lost earlier. We need to rebuild our supply. Excellent. Leo 2s have been routed. And they're fleeing into the power plant area. Excellent. Alright, let's push on that city. We're going to bring BTR 70s up now to take that area. We're barely holding on here. Alright, right flank is secure. Alright, let's move into the valley. Valley West and the farm are going to be two new targets for our supply, which means we can bring artillery in and keep those wonderful helicopters resupplied too. BMP-2 is firing at, oh god, no, tanks. And unfortunately, they're in the wrong spot for us. Let's try engaging them again. Alright, BTRs are moving up. These light, fast vehicles are going to come up on the right flank and move towards that ridge. And once they hit that ridge, they're going to roll into the town, giving us 15 victory points. And then we'll start working on securing the areas around the airfield.
Yes.
Let's see if we can find those tanks again. Alright, ATGMs from the choppers. Not great. They're Leo 2s in a good defensive position. Alright, our tanks are low on supply. Let's go ahead and make sure we turn them around. Let's get some supply up there. And they're taking all of the supply with them, 369. Wow, nice try. Alright, well, the helicopter's going to have to get resupplied first. But there's barely anything there for them. Big supply problems here. Let's launch our attack on the city. So many Leo 2s blocking the way. Dug-in Leo 2 tanks are a hell of a problem to dig out. We need supply on the front line, though. Alright. Troops are luckily moving into the city. Helicopters moving back to resupply. If we can capture that left flank, we'll get 100 supply. Honestly, not a lot. Alright. Get into that city now. Let's see if we can hide from those tanks. Make them come to us. Alright, the enemy is nearby, but they're going to have to push to us if they want to capture that. I guess this is residential housing for the pilots and people who work at the airfield, as well as what looks to be a power plant there. So, a rather strategic target. BMP-2's not in a great position.
Zone captured.
Alright, let's get them out of there. Alright, we're going to get these units out of there. Oh boy. Enemy counterattack with 2 to 4 platoons involved. Wonderful. Alright, here comes the big counterattack. Alright, looks like the choppers have 69% of their main ammo. Not great. We'll let them sit there as they resupply. Continue to siphon off our supplies for a while. We're low on tanks at this time. But we're going to need all we can get.
Слушай. Будет сделано.
Alright, more units are upcoming. Zip into the front as quickly as they can. Let's get these units resupplied quickly. A little closer. Alright, very nice. We're going to continue to save our tactical points. That way, if the enemy counterattacks anywhere near us, we should be able to fire off at them. In succession with 2 different types of artillery barrages. We've got 80 points now, so we should be able to fire several different artillery barrages. Alright, tanks are being resupplied and repaired.
Свод на связи.
Beautiful. After a little
Служу Советскому
hard
Союзу.
fight, they're looking good. BMPs, T-64 is looking good. We're going to have to dig in here, preparing for counterattacks. We don't want to get pushed back as we had previously and try to get victory points here too. We could probably launch an attack on this right flank, but there's more than likely going to be a lot of tanks in front of us again. Leo 2s, but we should try to scout it out. We could try to capture that supply on the right flank. Helicopters now at 100%. For main ammo, let's bring them back to the front line. And as I predicted,
Бьют нас, прошу поддержки. Бронебойный. Так, 1000.
5 minutes remaining.
all right, Leo 2A1s, that's a no thank you. Counterattack of the city has begun.
Слушаю.
We're going to lure all their units in there. And we're going to fall the hell back.
Коробочку подожгли.
Now this should allow them to get hit by our helicopters, our tanks, and the artillery as well. Let's make it a costly advance for them. Oh boy. The attacks continue from the tree line. Beautiful. And he's being... Oh, they're bringing in choppers. Enemy choppers.
Zone lost.
Interesting to see. Bring up the Shilka.
Приказ понятен.
Some light German choppers there. All right, let's fall back and get resupplied. Get those tanks the hell out of there. Try to hold our gains so far. And we'll try to flank left to take out these tanks over here now. And capture that
Zone
supply.
captured.
The supply is going to be incredibly important for the helicopter to continue to destroy every single German tank that approaches us. Seems like only the choppers can do it. We really need another group.
Понял. Слушаю.
All right, tanks are looking good. Now, we are nowhere in any good shape to attack that airfield just yet. In the next phase, we will be able to. We'll bring our vehicles to the left side and get them ready to go. Tanks, infantry transports, and more pushing to the left side. Shilka's pushing up to defend against those choppers again. And speaking of choppers, we now have Mi-24s ready to go against those tanks that'll appear on the right side. All right, we're going to push left. We're going to push right. Everything looks like it's resupplying nicely. We now hold the city yet again. Eriksdorf yet again on our radar. Leo 2 is getting hit. Enemy bombers inbound. Oh, we gotta move. Oh, good. They're being suppressed by the Shilka. These may be American A-10s attacking us. We may need to call another group of those out. And we've got another group of tanks blocking the way.
1 minute remaining.
All right, let's launch our attacks. Wow. Germans are getting out of there. All right, our units should be approaching the targets. Okay, I'm not seeing any other anti-aircraft units at our disposal. All right, let's see if we can decap in the 20 seconds that we have. Enemy unit spotted. Leo 2A4s. Not even going to call in the artillery barrage because we won't be able to see it. It won't come within time.
Objective completed.
Woo! All right, a brutal start, but a very good job for our troops. Some losses there, but way more on the Leo 1s and 2s. Those tanks are frickin' brutal. Dug in like that, they are not something to mess with, that's for sure. All right, the next goal then is to try to take the airfield itself and push in deeper into enemy territory. Maybe a nighttime battle next. We have 60 points then to spend on additional tanks for sure. We need full tank groups here ready to fight the enemy. And indeed we have some of those T-64, 64s, and more T-64 there. We need more BMPs then. BMP-2s will be useful here. We have 20 points remaining. I think we'll call out a group of 4 there. We also have our artillery strike for 25. Yep, artillery, different types of barrages and strikes at different prices. We'll go for the more affordable ones in the next one. All right, now we have to choose whether or not we want to get allies or recon focus. An extra recon TAC aid is available during the phase. We'll be able to locate enemy forces and deal with them a little bit more effectively. Or we'll be able to get allies in order to attack. We'll see how the, I guess, how the defense goes in the next operation for the enemy. We have, 5 points to spend, but I think we'll hold on to what we've got. Not that we could spend it anywhere else. We'll see how it goes when we go to get ready to counterattack the enemy. Now, considering we have to have, boy, we're going to have to pick some of these cards no matter what. It's going to be bad. So I think we probably would want to go for a recon focus this time around, but the enemy is more than likely going to counterattack. So, oh boy. Recon would allow us to pick out enemy targets faster. Allies would allow us to capture faster. And that would be quite good for us to continue to gain operational authority to then call out more units. We're starting to get exhausted here, but we do have our allies at our disposal. So we'll see how it goes when we go to push forward with them. So, anyway, if you'd like to download regiments today, make sure you go ahead and do so on their website. Well, I guess on their Steam page to request access to the playtest. The Kirchchain Air Force Base is now within our grasp. We have a foothold, and now it is time to tighten the noose and close the pocket around the German forces that continue to flood in. Next time, the enemy is going to launch a rather large counterattack, and probably the time after that as well, to dislodge us from the base of the airfield and the region in its entirety. But we will fight tooth and nail in order to hold and enclose that pocket. Thanks again for joining me, everybody. Leave a like on the way out, and thank you very much for subscribing. These episodes are short and sweet, and that's why I love this game a lot. So again, download Regiments today. More Warno, more War Game, more Men of War, more Company of Heroes, more, well, Men of War 2 and Men of War Assault Squad, and more Call to Arms on the channel. Make sure you clap that like button. Let me know you want to see more. Thanks again, everybody, and I'll see you all next time. Thanks, everyone.